So welcome back to another trade recap, guys, and as you probably know if you've been watching my channel, I haven't uploaded a trade recap for a while now, but I wanted to cover this one particularly because, as you can see, if you've been following Euro USD, you will know on the 15 minute, especially if you get involved on the lower time frame. On the 15 minute, we have been, inside a big range for quite a while now, and a lot of people don't know how to, trade ranges, so I wanted to just cover this one and just show you a trade that I took earlier on today. It's quite interesting, and I personally think it's a good trade to show you guys, if you're struggling. So what I've done is I've just marked out the daily and the 4 hour, and then we'll take a look at the 15 minute. So as you can see on the daily, we've been, heavily bearish for, quite a while now. So we've been coming down, making lower lows, lower highs. We've had a change of character or a break of structure to the upside. We are now, for me personally, we are bullish. We've come back down, we've tapped it into this, extreme daily demand. And if we go all the way across to the left, what we've done is we've tapped into a daily demand around here, which gave us this reaction and turned price bullish. We've then come back down, and now we're seeing a reaction and a pullback on the daily. So the overall idea on the daily is for us to eventually take out these daily highs. Whether that happens or not, it's yet to be seen. But yeah, so obviously that's the daily. Pretty simple stuff. So now onto the 4 hour. If I just zoom out a little bit. So as you can see on the 4 hour, it's a similar kind of story. We've been coming down now for quite a while, been bearish, lower lows, lower highs, and then we started to put in bullish price action. And then around this section here, it's just a massive range. You don't really want to be getting involved in any trades around there, especially not on the higher time frames. Obviously, on the lower time frames, you'll be able to get involved in trades around here, stuff like that. But overall, that was a little bit of messy price action. And then as you can see on the right hand side here, we had a major sell-off, and there was a lot of opportunity to get involved on the lower time frames down there. And then again, we've had, a break of structure on the 4 hour to the upside, a 4 hour change of character. I had at one point, I did have, this marked out. This is still valid, price could come back down, tap into this, and then put in that new daily high. But at the moment, that's pretty much what I'm looking for on the 4 hour. Currently, we are bullish. So what I was doing is I was dropping down onto the 15 minute. And on the 15 minute, as you can see, I did come to the charts around this time, around 7 AM in the morning. So this is the price action that I was seeing when I come to the charts. So what we've seen is, obviously, we've come down. We broke structure down here. So we broke structure here. And then here we didn't actually break structure until all the way over here. So this is where we broke structure from this point here. So then we had a break of this low, a break of this high, a tap into this extreme on, I think this was a 5 minute candle, and then we saw a nice reaction, and this is where this big impulse came from. So at the moment we're currently stuck between this low and this high. So all this price action is internal to the 15 minute swing range. So for me personally, I'm not a big fan of trading ranges. The price action's not always clear, but as you can see on the 15 minute, what I was looking at when I came is we've got a demand zone down here, which we've already tapped into. So we've already tapped into this demand zone. We've seen a nice reaction from that. A little bit lower down, we've got a demand zone here. Yeah, we've got a demand zone here that could be revisited at a later stage. But for me, as you can see, what I was thinking at this moment in time is we've got this, 15 minute unmitigated supply zone right here at the top. And as you can see in a moment, what I'll show you, what I was thinking. So we've got a supply zone, it's unmitigated on the 15 minute. And for me, there is a ton of liquidity to be taken, before we tap into the supply zone. So there's a ton of liquidity, above every high and below every low there's liquidity. This is a nice trend line liquidity, there'll be liquidity. There's going to be orders resting above these highs. So what I was thinking is if I can get a tap into this supply zone, will we get a reaction, and will I get my entry model in order to get involved? And if my entry model is presented to me, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that trade with any trade that presents itself, really, unless obviously I take a trade early in the morning and then I am done for the day. Obviously I won't trade for the rest of the day if my entry model presents. But if I'm still trading and I'm active on the charts and a trade does present itself, I will take that trade and I will look to get involved in the market. So that's what I was thinking, unmitigated supply zone on 15 minute, lots of liquidity to be taken. So at this stage, all I did is I set an alert at this supply zone right here and just waited for price to, come up and tap in. So as you can see, we've tapped in now, and this is at the point I would then drop down to my 1 minute time frame in order to look for an entry. Pretty simple stuff. So as you can see, we've come up, we've tapped into the supply zone. Price action's a bit messy there, so if let's just go out and reload it. As you can see, what's happened is we've come up, we've had a pullback, so we've liquidated this high. This would be our, liquidation, a chalk up, whatever you want to call it. And then what I was looking for is this low to be taken right here. So a chalk down. And I was literally just waiting for that low to be taken. And then as you can see, the low got taken pretty much straight away. And then for me, this bullish candle here is pretty obvious to enter from, because obviously this is where the sellers come in. We've left a little bit of imbalance. And this is where I was happy to get involved. So we've come up. I entered here with a 2 pip stop. So a 2 pip stop. And then I just put the, the order above the highs right here. So for me, what I do is I always try to get a 2 pip stop at maximum. So what I will do is, obviously, if a 2 pip stop is, down here and it covers the highs, for example, like this, I will just leave it there. But in this example here, if a 2 pip stop is obviously there, I will just move it up until it covers the high, and then I will get involved. So again, let's just see what happens right here. So as you can see, we do come down quite aggressive, and then we have a correctional pullback, and then price does pick up, and then it does take me out for a 1% loss. So that was a loss there on my part. It's a valid trade at the end of the day. It does fit my plan, and that's the main thing. Just take all the trades that do fit your plan. So for me, I was happy for that loss right there. So and then what I was thinking then after this loss is, if we don't break this and violate this supply zone and we are still within, I'm happy to take another trade, because for me, this zone, if we don't break it, is still valid, to take shots from. So what I was waiting for is, I was waiting to see if we got another opportunity. As you can see, we pulled back. We then took the high. So then again, this would be our chalk up. So a change of character up, chalk up, and then what I was waiting for is for this inside bar low to be taken for our chalk down. So a chalk down. As you can see, we come up, we nearly violate the supply zone, but we don't quite violate it. So for me, as I said before, it's still valid, and it's still, still on the cards to look for a trade. As you can see, we don't actually break right here. So if I just pull it across a little bit, we've not actually broken this inside bar. So I was still waiting to see what was going to happen. So once we broke this low here, what I was thinking is, obviously it's in my plan, if we don't have a sweep, to get involved at the extreme. So I did set a sell limit right there. But what happened next is we come up. As you can see, we broke the low again. We then come up, we nearly tap into my order. But what we do is we sweep these highs. So we sweep these highs right here. Take the liquidity from these highs from the early sellers. And then what you will see next is we start coming down, and then we do go ahead and we break this low right here. So this low. So we go ahead, break that low, and then for me, what I thought is, yeah, I'm happy now to get involved on the sweep. So what I did is I took my gam box, dragged it out obviously, and then I just took in this inside bar and this wick. So for me, that was a valid area to get involved. So just took my my short position. Happy to enter with a 2 pip stop. Put the stop loss above the high. And then what I did is I set a TP at 10R. But what I will say is, obviously on the daily we are bullish, on the 4 hour we are bullish, and on the 15 minute we are also bullish. So I wanted to be aggressive with taking profits on this. So what I did is I took 8% off at 1 to 5, and then I let the rest run to 10R. So what you'll see is we come back up, we tap in to my position, and now I'm tagged in. And then what I was looking at is this, at this point here, is when I would go break even. So break even, that's my break even point. So once we pass that point, I move my stop loss to, break even. We broke break even line there. And now I am risk free on this trade. So where is 5R? So 5R is right there. So once we pass this, I took off 8% of my position. come down pretty fast, and now I have obviously secured some profit. So at this point, I'm not too bothered, you know, if price does come back up and take me out at the break-even level. I've still obviously secured profits there, but you know, if it comes down to my 10R, and obviously it's actually a little bit extra that I'm, you know, in profit. So if I just put it down to 10R, what you'll see is this trade was in and out quite quick. So we come down, a nice 10R trade there. As I said, I secured profits at 5R, 8% off my position, and left the rest to run to 10R. So yeah, a pretty simple trade, but you know, it's quite daunting taking trades when you're inside, you know, a big range. It's not comfortable for everyone to do that. As you can see, I took a 1% loss there trying to get into this trade. Obviously, I deleted that sell limit right there. But overall, you know, quite a clean trade to take. I'm quite happy with it, even after this 1% loss. So it goes to show, you know, the first tap in, and you know, if you get taken out, it's not always going to work. But if the supply zone doesn't get violated, or the demand zone, for that example, you know, it's still valid to take trades from that supply zone. What I would say is I wouldn't just keep taking trades over and over again. But yeah, guys, if this video did help you out and you want more trade recaps a bit more frequently and a bit more consistently, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to drop them whenever I take trades. But yeah, without further ado, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.